There we go, finally.
Yeah. This is not the... If it's recording, I can do this. I can show books before I do anything. And then this one, how can we?
My dream is
As you should, and that's why I was tempted for you to like sit in that chair and turn to me and be like,
Okay.
yeah, because then I
So
could be
Janet,
like,
tell me about your boat.
so it could be like this grand thing.
Oh yes.
Or something. I was very excited when I was going to be coming in. She's like, oh yeah, recline. So I released 2 new books. Because I decided in 2019 to write a poem for every day of the year. That was my New Year's resolution. I still have to come up with a poem today. I haven't done that yet.
Oh.
And oftentimes he's going to sleep and I'm like, it's 11:30, quick, do something, you know. Although having periodic table tweets helps get something turned around, or if I do something to fill space in a short story acceptance in a print issue, that works as well. Oh, is John going to play music in the background? I was actually beginning to think that I should have, because I'm not at the beach, I should have some sort of, I don't have a beach sound necessarily, but maybe I could have like birds going really quietly in the background.
I mean, we could walk out to the beach. Once Peter gets here, we could walk out to the beach. If you really want to have a beach backdrop, because, yeah, I just didn't, I don't have my chairs. I don't have my tent.
Yeah. Well, let's hear how the birds. What do you think of the volume of these birds? Is that a good
It's
volume?
nice. It's good.
That's a good background noise. Yay, we've got bird noises. This is, you know, I would have train noises, bird noises, or something. So I decided, and if people did from a couple of years ago, because somebody created this word, you could be attracted to somebody's pheromones, but you could also be attracted to their words or their memes, and so I came up with Pharaoh memes.
No,
Released
that's
2
cute.
Pharaoh memes books before, and this is probably the last one in it. Pharaoh memes of haiku, hi, Instagram, Twitter, and poetry. And the reason why is a lot of these poems are shorter, and they have Instagram images with them. I'm just going to open up and you can see, and it's a larger typeface size, and I'll have the images that go along with it as well. So it's really different from other books that I've done. But because I was doing something for every day of the year, I started looking, I'm like, well, I need something for this day. Are there any weird holidays that happened today or whatnot? Guess what? You learn about lots of strange holidays and things going on, which is why it became 2 volumes for the first half of the year. I've got a book called Every Event of the Year. This is volume 1. For January through June, this is over 200 pages of poems of just of things for different days of the year. You could have sword swallowing day. You could have, you know, there are so many different occasions.
Here's sword swallowing day?
Yeah, that was a fun one to write about. And I took a picture and I had a knife going, or a blade going down my throat. Well, I mean, it didn't really, but, you know, why not? So I have a lot of stuff, and there are different pieces in both of these. There is one poem that is in both of these that I'm going to share with you as my first poem, because I wrote it on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And so I'm going to find it in both of these so I can share it with you. So I really like this one, and I hope you like it too. And it is called Our Color, Our Gender, Our Creed. There is a house inside of me. It's a house with a rich heritage, brimming with the knowledge of how our souls have flourished and how it can be so quickly taken away. There is a house inside of me that has had to shut down to hide from everything away, because those who didn't like me decided that I was nothing and treated me accordingly. There is a house inside of me. Its pulse has an infectious rhythm that we've had to stifle to hide from your generic white bread world. We only let it out when we're alone to save us from your madness. There is a house inside of me. I've hidden it away. I've sealed it up and placed it deep within, brimming with my history and my future, because people who don't like me, people, I don't want to let it out for people who can't even think of me as human. There's a house inside of me. I've put boards over the windows to save myself from your storm. With your wrath, I've learned to not fight back, only because my captor won't let me. There is a house inside of me, and this house will stand strong even after you have raped me, beaten me, tortured me, tried to kill me, treated me as nothing. But you were so wrong. There is a house inside of me, and what I want you to understand is this. This house will outlast yours. Trust me. If your house was built on distrust and such blatant disrespect, your house is bound to collapse. Because after all this time, and after my wanting to fight, I have learned that passive resistance is only a part of my story. Because in these struggles, I have gained a wisdom and a connection that is beyond this house inside of me, beyond this sharing, this inquisitive mentality. So I want you to remember, this house is a symbol for all like me, and for those not like me too. Because I have a dream that everyone who has suffered like this, and even those who have not, should share their stories with all of the world, no matter our color, our gender, our creed. This is my dream, because this is how we truly grow. One day, a poem a day. Thank you. I was going to say, I don't even know if these would need applause from as we're going through them, but thank you for that. As I said, she's like, I'm going to get a more comfy spot. Oh, agua. Sweet. As I said, a lot of these are short little ones. This one was based on car stuff. This one's called Nonetheless. My first car was red. Not fire engine red. More like dried blood. But shiny nonetheless. Sometimes you get a car that's in a deep red color, right? Somebody said to write about a snail. This, you can't even see it. It's not an onion. It's a statue of a snail. It's hard to see. There's an open shell of a snail. It's just hard to see in this picture. But so this is based on that. It's called Brittle. Poor trapped snail, born into a shell that keeps them contained, trapped within these curved yet brittle, hard walls. These walls seem so suffocating. They make life seem so short. And another one related, brain. And it's a very tiny picture with it, but brain stays forced into constant maze with all of life, only wanting rest. Is that somebody who just deals with way too much and needs to take a break, right? This one, I might as well read these both, why not? This one is called Quiver in Thought, and it doesn't have a picture. So there, no photo in this one. Quiver in Thought. Think of it as REM sleep, when your eyes dart back and forth. Your eyes seem to quiver in thought, processing your day at the time when you have absolutely no muscle control and you cannot react. Unlike being catatonic, unlike having no response. Because you see, when you hear me, I want you to react. I want to make your eyes dart in thought. Even when closed, when you think of me, I want your eyes to move like you're in REM sleep. But remember, I only want you to lose control of all your senses, only because of me. This one is an interesting one, and you can't even see from the photo, but I am wearing these crazy glasses here. I'm holding this little finial up, and this little doorknob thing that I found, and it's called Opens the Way. I walked down the streets of my village and I stopped when I saw a doorknob in the dirt. I couldn't help but pick it up and keep it. There was no lock, just this black doorknob and base. It was so rusted that the doorknob wouldn't even turn, almost like it was a finial and not a doorknob. I don't know why I decided to keep this thing, other than with the hope that wherever I go, one day this doorknob may begin to turn and open the way for me from deep within the depths of oceans to up mountains to up through the sky until it opens the way to where I truly can only dream to be. And I've got short ones in here, and I think I'll do one or two more from this book for you. This one is called Became a Circus. Have you ever been to a circus? Do you remember going to a carnival where when you were a little kid, holding onto the hands of the obligatory supervisor, you know, if it wasn't a mommy or a daddy, and you were sucking on cotton candy spun on a stick? And think back. Do you remember seeing someone walking high above, up on a tightrope, all without a net? Or do you remember seeing a man open a lion's mouth wide, hold his balding head inside? Think back. Because, think about it. Look deep inside and wonder if your life became that circus. And you're the one that's stuck in that lion's cage. And you're the one hanging onto that trapeze bar, hooked by your knees, and the blood is rushing to your head upside down. Do you remember this? Are they throwing tomahawks now at you? When you put on your makeup, do you start to feel like a clown and you wonder how your life became a circus? Now think, has real life become as terrifying as these death-defying circus acts? Or did you figure out how it works and you were always able to just be in this elaborate show for so long and you were always able to just play your part? How to avoid the animal claws and their teeth, how to catch that bar, how to not slip and fall. Think back. Have you figured it out yet? Figured things out from the circus. I'll have one short one here, and it's another picture one. Hello. See people coming through. And it's called Listen to Life, and I've got my little ukulele in the picture, but short one called Listen to Life, and I'll be end of this one. Life teaches you lessons if you learn to listen. Life can destroy you if you're not paying notice. Listen to know what to actually listen for, and never forget. Life can also thrill you if you listen just right. And it's nice with the guitar back here. And I said I've got the birds going so it can feel like we're on the beach, right? You came in late and you missed my Martin Luther King piece. I've got a few haikus. This is from the poem for every element of the year. This is what happens when you make a New Year's resolution to write a poem every day of the year. You're like, well, what's going on today? What holiday could I write about? And you find so many. And I've got a few haiku that I put in here for Haiku Poetry Day. I'll just read them off for you. This is called No. How does the light feel once you know the truth? Alone in a darkened room. This one's called Extinct. When they go extinct, do you study the mistakes or just study bones? A longer title, this is only a test, short one, but during the Cold War, the States wanted to test nukes by bombing the moon. Yeah, they thought we'd bomb the dark side of the moon because nobody sees that side. I don't know what they were thinking, but this is true. This is totally true. I know if I'm going to do the astronomy records, the last one here is elusive. 94% of the universe is dark, elusive to me. There's so much we don't understand is that the concept of dark matter, right? This one's for National Tulip Day. This one is a short one, vase of tulips, and yes, it has a picture and you can't even see it, but if you looked online, you'd see that there was a vase of tulips in there. Just months after I met my one true love, that's when he realized that I was a Dutch girl. So he bought me a bouquet of tulips in a vase adorned with cut-out tulips around it. I don't know how close his gift was to the day the Dutch actually celebrate this beautiful tulip, but I keep that vase with all the memories of him tied in with beauty and with my memories. I think I will do one, two, I will do three more for you, and I'll call it for that for you guys. This one was for Mother's Day, an older piece called That Dress. Both years I went to prom, you made me my dress. The first, pink and mauve. I look like a parade float, I think. Mm-hmm. The next year, something a bit more dramatic. I wanted black with a touch of ivory. You convinced me to have ivory with a touch of black. You made the dress and fitted a jacket for me. I could take the jacket off, and I had a pair of long black gloves. You know, you never liked having your picture taken with me, Mom. But I'll always keep that photo taken just before my prom night of the two of us. I'm leaning my head on your shoulder. I love that dress. I still have that dress. I still have that dress. Alrighty, this one was written on World Environment Day, and it's called Escape to Peace. We create and build our environments. We look to escape to peace and tranquility. If only we lived in a green environment and not such a gray one. Because once we clear our head of all of our internal pollution, we become aware of the external pollution. Smokestacks and car exhaust fumes choke us. Even industrial farming pollutes the environment, using up resources to kill en masse. We pollute our minds as we pollute the earth. And we wonder what more we can do to finally feel at peace in our environment again. I try to not have big person. Hi, come on through, books. But I thought this one would be one that you might appreciate the ending for. This was written for the actual day the Antarctic Treaty first came into full force, because we had to protect the 7th continent. It's called Uncharted Land. We have lived in this uncharted land for millennia. Our whales slide easily through our southern ocean. Our penguins porpoise through the waters, sharing lichen with the seals basking in our South Pole sun. Only in the past 150 years did you come. And we learned the first thing humans bring is death. You ducked ships, slaughtered our whales, used blubber for oil, and thought we were a never-ending resource. You don't realize that you brought nearly 12 species here to the brink of extinction, and you can't see the harm in what you do. So when you two biggest bullies threatened to blow all of humanity into extinction, someone realized that they had to draw a line and not use this land for your own selfish, self-destructive needs. Because, believe it or not, as you destroy yourselves, you destroy so much more along with you. The first step to creating peace was actually the underlying premise to what we represent. Demilitarize when here. Don't allow the antagonism on this land. And the next thing you'll know is that you'll be holding hands, growing together. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for reading. And thank you for
I love them. I love them.
for you
Really
because
beautiful.
I thought we can feel like we're at the beach.
That's right.
And have the seagulls going.
And you recorded them in Texas?
Pardon me?
Those are Texas birds?
These are, yes, but they were actually right around my house. The crazy thing is our neighbor, who has just sold the house, and the new neighbors are like, we're getting rid of this. They have a bamboo forest in their backyard, which means it's seeping into my yard, which is beautiful. It's gorgeous to look at, but the kind of bamboo that they planted grows like a weed, which means wink up and right along our foundation line, bamboo will be sprouting up 8-10 feet in. And it's like, that's not good for our house. We've got to be able to get rid of this. And I'm like, I love seeing these trees, and the birds like to hang out in them. And I'm like, I'm going to record this and have some bird noises because it's beautiful. You know, almost as beautiful as the lovely seagulls or the pigeons here. And that's the thing, pigeons aren't as common if you're getting outside of the city, the edges. They have a very common bird there called the grackle. It's a scrawny, thin black bird with the worst sound known to mankind when it squeaks anything. And I'm like, I'd go.
Smokes.
Pardon me?
It's like a crow that smokes.
A crow that smokes, a smoking crow.
The smoking crow. That's a bad band name, just so you know. But it's a bad bird too.
That's
So.
a good name.
But I'd go somewhere and I'm like, hey, you're a pigeon. You've actually got a lot of cool colors, and I missed you because I don't see you as often anymore, which is crazy to say. But then again, hearing the L train sound, that's something I so miss too. Which people are just like, I hate the L train. What are you talking about? I'm like, that's because you live and you work with it.
Right.
But, you know, you leave and it's like, and you hear the god-awful sounds of the trains that are around in Austin and stuff, so.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do?
But Austin is such a great, vibrant artist community.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I just have to, you know, rip on it because I like my Chicago too much.
Aww.
That's my only problem. I just like my city too much. So.